All right. Duh. So yeah, you can use section titles, and if you're using Microsoft Word, um, those styles, the default styles right in Word, it comes with title, section 1, section 2, section 3, I think all the way down to section 5. You can just use the default headings that Word uses. You can also go in and modify those. That was I learned how to do that like 20 years ago when I was working on my master's, and it just blows everyone's mind because you can like, oh wow, this is so organized. And I was like, yeah, I spent a whole 3 seconds on it. Get to know those styles in Word. It's great for organization. Um, Everyone needs a map. All right, so there are a couple projects. I can't think of the specific folks right at the moment, but there are a couple of projects that are a little bit conceptual and not necessarily focused on a specific location. In there, what I'd like to see is like a hand-drawn map. All right, so where you have, this is the project area, this is the launch area. Here's going to be our takeoff and landing points. Here's where I will base my visual observers, right? So that's a couple of you. Most of you have identified a geographic location that your project's going to occur in. Let's make a map. You can use Google. What I usually do is I'll just use Google Maps as like a template. I'll do a screen grab, throw that into PowerPoint, and then you can overlay colored graphics, arrows, whatever you need, annotation, whatever you need to sort of show what the map is. But everyone needs at least a map. What I'd like to see is I'd like to see pictures of the drone you've selected. I'd like to see pictures of the payload. Any relevant situation that's specific to your project. Either you could either fabricate some stuff. I'm thinking about like one of the coolest graphically loaded presentations from last semester was a very conceptual project plan, and actually ding this person for not having more details about the actual flights and projects, but the graphics they pulled out, so they had this parcel delivery thing. So his idea, like just kind of like Amazon parcel delivery, but we found someone that had drawn these futuristic designs of like basically this huge drone pod tower where thousands of drones could fly out of the tower, and it was like ridiculously futuristic and unrealistic, but it really got your imagination going about what was possible. And I thought that was just a great graphic. Sort of could have been just a background highlight graphic, but instead it was like something that was actually like, this is not what this project about, but this is a conceptual thing. So this is where, I don't know. I'm not trying to say anything about you guys, but like the pilots I work with, like some of them are really brainiac folks, sure, but most of them are, really, they're good pilots because they're able to focus on the mission and like keep things simple, right? And I think that's a big thing for being a good aviator is not, 90 what percent of all aviation accidents are user driven. So keep things simple, and then you keep the user out of it. So I don't think anyone needs to have, it doesn't need to be a super complex plan. We just want to keep things simple, but we want it to be attractive. And I guess that's what I'm talking about with the graphics. You can say a lot with graphics, with charts, with maps, with pictures. So let's just keep it simple. Get some of those graphics in there, especially if you're presenting, because you're, Just like you. Yeah, you fading out there. See, I caught you because you're on the end of a video screen, right? It takes a lot to keep people's attention. So make your, especially presentations, but even for the written reports, keep them interesting. Okay, yeah. One note on payloads. So payload includes the camera, and no matter what your payload is for what your mission is, you're probably going to want a camera on there, right? Because if you're operating remote, which everyone is, that's what makes the UAS the UAS. It's really helpful to see what the UAS is seeing so you don't fly into stuff. You can avoid hazards. You can see where you are. So, right, if I'm up flying, I can always look back, identify the launch location so I can navigate back to that spot if I happen to lose my GCS. So everyone's probably going to need a camera, so that should probably be mentioned. And then collision avoidance is a big thing that's going to keep a lot of people out of trouble. Some of you have examples that you're definitely flying beyond visual line of sight. That's where collision avoidance is really, really helpful because we can't always anticipate everything that we're going to run into when we're flying beyond our line of sight. Even if we think we can see the airspace, we could get our elevation wrong, and there's no reason, like it's not like you guys are limited by a budget. So I think if collision avoidance makes sense for you and you're not using it, maybe you should talk about why. But at the same time, my next note is about eliminating unused elements of the outline, all right? What I've given you is a few examples, right? Principles of the project lays out like try to identify everything that could possibly go in the outline. But there are things that are not in there that you might want to put in there, but you don't need to like just have a bullet in there for the sake of having a bullet, all right? So just keep the information relevant and yeah, you don't need to just like have a bullet in there because I presented that example. All right, now I think I already mentioned that basically the grading on the outlines and the intros is just go, no go. So definitely turn it in. Turn everything in. So Dylan asked a great question. For our presentation, can we do a slideshow on the project? Yes, so that's exactly what I anticipate is that people will have a PowerPoint presentation and you will, you're going to share your screen and you're going to start presenting. Now, if you only have one monitor, it can be a little bit of a pain. It's nice to have multiple monitors to do that because when you present in PowerPoint, it'll give you the presenter window on one screen and let you share the other screen. Now, if you have a big-ass monitor, I have a 30-inch monitor, I can actually put two windows up side by side and present. I don't actually know how to do that in PowerPoint, but there's probably a way where you can present on half your screen. Anyway, those are the details to start thinking about. It's a great question, Dylan. And, you know, I'm definitely around to chat about that stuff. And I'm always around to chat one-on-one. If anyone wants to kick me a message and set up a time, I'm always like my butt is in this seat like 60 hours a week. I'm either doing my day job or doing school stuff. So you can definitely find some time to chat individually on stuff. I will talk a little bit about, I have the presentation schedule up, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But right now, let me just open it up. Does anyone have any questions right now about anything going on, either comments I had in your outline or moving forward? I'm going to look at what questions are written here. So as far as how long the presentations need to be, please review the project evaluations. All that information is in there, and you should be working from, you'll be working from that, those templates. So I laid out 10 evaluation steps for the written project plan, and I presented you the evaluation form that I'll be using to grade your presentation outlines or your presentations. Yeah, so live presentation. I guess if you wanted to record, if somehow recording your presentation makes you feel better, I'm fine with that. If you want to make a video, I still want you to be here to answer questions, but if you want to make a video of your presentation, that's fine. There are a couple tricks when you go to share your screen, and in Teams, you have to turn on use system audio so that we can actually hear your video, but that's not a big deal. So Nick, I'm fine with making a video if you're into that. To me, it just sounds like more work. That's why I haven't made videos of all my modules, is because I kind of know what's in them, but making the video is actually another 8 hours of work to do that and then edit it. All right, that's all the questions in the chat. Does anyone have any other questions? And again, I'll talk about the schedule here and pull it up. And so what I'll do is we have, I think, so we're going to present on Monday and Wednesday next week, and we're going to have, for those of you that were here Tuesday, I think you already know, but let me pull this up and I'll share my screen. I figure out how to change that. All right, so under Module 9, UAS project, I have the, where is it? Oh yeah, second page, UAS projects, topics and schedules. And I'll go right into the edit. So I think what we're going to do is we'll front load we'll front load Monday. We only have 5 presenters, so we'll front load Monday. And so that means we'll have 3 presenters on Monday and then 2 on Wednesday. We could potentially get everyone in on Monday or potentially get everyone in on Friday, or Wednesday, but it's not very, it's really, from a risk management perspective, not really talking about risk, but trying to mitigate potential hazards of not being able to get everything done. It doesn't make sense to sort of maybe have time to get everyone in. So
hey,
Rich,
are you talking about the 3rd
on Monday and 2 on Wednesday? And so the numbers here are basically this was your random draw. So right now I have Alan, Nick, and Nathan going on Monday, and then it would be Carlos leading off Wednesday, and Dylan closing us out for the semester on Wednesday. So what I'll do is I'll go in here and I'll actually put some time slots in. So yeah, if anyone has questions, go ahead and feel free to ask away.
Is that the 3rd and the 5th, like next week, or the week after?
It is the 3rd and the 5th. It's coming up. So don't stress about it. Like I said, most people, what I saw in the outline is like you're pretty much got it together. That as long as your intro is pretty good, that goes sort of in the front, so people have like a narrative about what the project is about. The outline is just organization of what you're doing, and then really between no one had graphics in their outline. So I anticipate that's something everyone has to do is go out, find the map, make a map, add some graphics, add some illustrations. But really what I saw is most people were pretty close with the outline. So I did move so for reports, written reports or presentations, I need the document. All right. So I need the PowerPoint slides or I need the written document. And the due date for those items is Friday the 7th. So Caesar just asked. I did move that date back just because I've been getting overwhelmed, and believe me, I'm appreciative that you guys have gotten stuff done because I really got swamped here at the end of the semester. And I feel like I answered Carlos's question myself sort of at the end of last week and was like, oh my God, like, we're sort of out of time at the end of the semester. And what happened, I usually have finals week as a buffer, but with my day job, they went ahead and we're starting our summer training of finals week. So I'm going to be in Fairbanks the week of finals. So that's how my semester gets to end. I get to start with 3 weeks on the road. So go right from the semester to teaching firefighters how to fly drones, which is fine. But if we had finals week, I would say, we could do presentations that week too. But I'm unfortunately going to be out of town, knees deep into some firefighting instruction. Yeah, originally it was May 4th, but I did move the due dates back. So, before I say anything else, let me take a look again at this calendar. So this is going to be 5/3. And this will be a 20-ish. I think, sorry for the snarky answer, Dylan, but I want people to be using those evaluation forms. I think I say 12 to 15 minutes. It's really important to not go over. We do have some flexibility because we only have a limited number of presenters, but honestly, in an introduction class, no one wants to listen to people talk for 30 minutes, including me. Maybe some of you guys have some very interesting stuff. I know it. So till about 8:40. Whoops. And then 8:45 to about 9. But if people have a lot of questions, that means you had a really interesting conversation and you've gathered people's attention enough to ask questions. Then I could expect these times to go a little longer. Question and answer period does not count as like against you of course, for your presentation, all right? And then I will grab this. I'm lazy. All right. So, give it hell. Like giving you guys, 10 to 15 minutes. Now, I've given you guys some guidelines. And the big thing is just get it done, right? Don't blow any part of this assignment off, and just do your best. I think, I don't know. I don't know. It just kind of depends on your style, whether, which of these is more work or whatever, but presentation or the written plan doesn't really matter at this point. And by the way, if any of the presenters want to flip your day, let me know. I can definitely fit one more person in on Monday. It just makes Wednesday a little bit off balance. So if one of the two Wednesday presenters wanted to go Monday, I would just ask one of the Monday presenters to go Wednesday, something like that. Just let me know. There's some flexibility there. If one day is more stressful than another or something. But because I'll actually be out of town for presentations Monday, but I'll be at my dad's house in Chicago with a really good internet connection and an office and all that. So really won't look any different from your end. Since presenter Monday, I still need to present in class. Was that okay? That was weird, Nick. So Nick, your presentation day right now is scheduled for Monday. So there's nothing you would have to do Wednesday. I don't know if I gave you some crazy information, but you'll be done on Monday. But then I need your PowerPoint presentation by Friday. I mean, it makes sense if you're presenting, probably that's the final product. You could just turn it in at that point. But if you wanted to tweak some things in your presentation before you turned it in, you can turn it in Friday. Then I have to have grades in, I think, by so it'll be the 17th. So I think that Monday, directly after finals, I have to have grades turned in. And if you're behind and you need more time on your project, basically, if you're a presenter and you're not going to make it, then let's just change it to a written plan, and I can give you, to the end of the semester. I can give you a finals week to work on stuff. I don't want anyone to do that. What I'd rather you do is if you're looking at my comments and you're one of those people that is like feeling like you haven't done anything yet and you really need to spend more time in this, then maybe it would be worth it. It's probably the best bang for your buck is to put in a stressful night and, get this content done. I realize this is not your only class, and that's why I staggered these assignments so that, once you get your outline in, you're sort of mostly done with the project. That was the idea. But just let me know. Hopefully you guys realize I'm very flexible at this point. I'm so freaking busy. I don't blame anyone for being busy. Oh, you still have to be present on Wednesday. So yes, that is the big thing. I'm sorry, Nick. I didn't understand exactly what you were asking. So these would be, for the presentation days, those are going to be 5-point attendance days. I forgot to mention that. All right. So I think I do mention it in the project handout somewhere. But so those are actually big days, and it's another day to grab 5 points for just showing up. All right. And the idea is there is that let's respect our fellow classmates and give them an audience, and I'll reward you guys for showing up. So yes, I really want everyone there Monday and Wednesday, and honestly, Wednesdays is pretty going to be a short day, just a couple of presenters, and they're probably going to be high quality stuff on Wednesday. I can just tell. I have a feeling. All right. Any other questions? These are good questions. Keep me covered. I'm gonna actually put that in here too. Make it red. All caps. And let's get rid of that. There we go.
Hey, Rich, I got a quick comment. I'll be transporting my daughter to school during that time, on that Wednesday. But when you were talking about doing a recording, I just did another project where I just did a voice recording through my PowerPoint presentation presenting materials. So can I just do that, submit that, and then still be attending on the drive to school?
Yeah, is there a better time slot or anything for you?
I could do it after I drop her off. So like, I'll still be driving. So until 9 o'clock is when I get home. If you want me sitting.
Well, we could.
I mean, I'll still be available to answer questions and stuff. I'll just be in just transporting.
Yeah, I don't. Just from a safety perspective, I don't really. If we can avoid that, I'd prefer. Well, what we could do, let's see. So number 3, 9 to 9:15. What time does our class go till? 9:45? No, 8 to 9:15. That's right. Oh, yeah, shoot. I mean, so you're here right now. Is this just a fluke day for you?
Yeah. So I have her a week on, week off.
Right.
So next week I have her the entire week. So Monday through Friday.
I see. Okay. Yeah, because usually you're in the car for the whole class. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, maybe what we could do would just be, yeah, I mean, I guess I don't really see a way around it. Maybe if you do have the time to present or record it, and then just present a recording, we can even can questions, if something's, you can definitely just say, well, let me get back to you on that or whatever. I just don't want you to be distracted driving.
No, I can answer questions. I mean, obviously, if I'm making the materials, I should know the material, right?
Yeah, that's fine. So let's just do that. Yeah, it sounds like your plan is a pretty good one. Just present and if you want, you can even send me the recording or give, I can turn stuff on. I can present from my screen. You know what I mean? So you don't have to be clicking around. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get it to you by Friday.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds fine.
Awesome. Thank you.
Make it work. Cool. Any other questions?
Yeah, I have one.
Chief?
So if we're gonna put it the pictures for map or the UAV and the payload, it's gonna be more than 3 pages for me at least. Is that okay?
Yeah, yeah. For the project plan. All right. For the project plan, it's really 3 pages of text, and then it should definitely expand beyond there with a map and some graphics, tables, what I really just don't want a ton of text in there, but definitely the plan can easily exceed a few pages for sure.